fun. Like a lot of times, daycares are nonprofit organizations, so we rely on like fundraisers and everything. And my last daycare job, I was a bit of a keener. I said, "Yeah, I'll do this." We had a little summer carnival outside our daycare, and I said, "You know, I'd like to volunteer." Yeah, that was my first mistake. And then I said, "I'd like to do whatever you want me to do. I'll do." That was my second mistake. They decided to bring a dunk tank. And they put the dunk tank in the parking lot. And when I got there, I was looking, there was a lineup of only like 3 children. I was like, well, that's not that bad. And all of a sudden my director, okay, Cliff, you're up. I get into the dunk tank. I just, all right, here's the seats. I'm getting ready. Here we go. Come on, everyone. The line shoots with 3 to 30 children. I'm like, what's going on here? And then I look at each child, and they have a ticked off look on their face. They're like, and I was like, wait a minute. I recall yesterday, we went on a field trip to the Millennium Library. And I recall that these kids were running around, yelling and screaming, just kind of like Lord of the Flies in there. And they're just running around, and all of a sudden, I said, all right, kids, this behavior is not acceptable. Okay, I want you to go line up at the door. We are going back to the daycare. We're going to talk about your behavior because it's unacceptable. And these kids, it was just like watching death row inmates on Green Mile. It's like going like, walk into the bus stop like this. Also, I see 2 of the kids. One of them's like, hey, what did we do? I don't know. I think we pissed off the prep. Just keep on walking. So these kids were just seeking revenge. It's like, well, our teacher's in the dunk tank. Let's dunk him. So the first kid gets up there. He starts throwing the ball. Hits the cage. Doesn't hit the target. Second one. Over the cage. Third one. I'm like, okay, come on. You can't do it. You can't do it. I'm just egging this kid on. You can't do it. Go on, sir. Keep walking. There we go. I was like, come on. You can do it. Throws the ball. Misses the target. And I'm just laughing at the kid. Ha! You can't do it. You can't dunk me. Ha! In your face, kid. That kid went ballistic. Drops his hat down, throws it on the ground. It was like looking at Adam Sandler in the Waterboy movies, like slams on the target. I fall in the water. I'm like, wow, this is so cool. This is my wife. This is what she does. She goes up to the kid. Don't encourage her, honey. Yeah, like I said, you can't win with women. Daycare feels fun. One of my favorites, though, is a show and tell. We're starting that at my daycare. Show and tell tomorrow. The first show and tell I ever did at my first daycare, we had a box and we had all these Thomas the Tank Engine toys in there. This one kid, he just brought them all. The thing with this kid, though, he had a bit of a list. So he was introducing all his toys. And he had Thomas, he had James, he had Percy. So he introduces the first train. He's like, who's this?
That's Thomas.
Okay, now who's this one over here?
That's James.
Okay, now who's this green one over here?
That's Pussy.
You mean Percy?
Yeah, Pussy.
And you told me this was your favorite train?
I love Pussy.
So I bet you do. One of the kids, though, he starts looking at it, he's like, hey, can I play with this? He grabs Percy and starts walking away with it. This kid just goes nuts. Hey, I want pussy! I want pussy! What was I supposed to say? Well, get you a prostitute! Please. Another show and tell I did, this one child brought, you won't believe this, he brought like a double D bra. He brought his mom's bra as a show and tell. I didn't know this for sure. Like, this is what happened was I had the show and tell box. I was like, all right, kids, here's our first show and tell. Now, whose is this? I pulled out, what the hell is this? And this thing was huge, a double D bra. I'm like, but this kid's like, oh, this is mine. I put it over my eyes. Look, I'm a human fly. A lot of things were going through my mind. I'm looking at the size of the bra. I'm just like, dirty things come to my mind. I'm like, okay, Liz, when your mom showers, her feet doesn't get wet, do they? Or when she gets the hiccup, does she also give herself a concussion or something like that? Jeez. Then all of a sudden, a few hours later, his mom picks him up. And I'm just like, oh, hi, Cliff. Is a Billy here? Yeah. He's here. I'm just like, I'm stuttering, basically. And then I quickly took his show and tell, put it in like a superstore bag, and just put it right in his backpack. He's like, well, you see, we're not going to be here next week. We're going on vacation, so we'll see you in the next week. I'm like, okay, wishing you all the best. Yes, sorry. I thought one thing about children, there are two classes of children at daycare. There are children that are risk takers. They love to do certain things, jump off of the play structure, like do adventurous things, have that self-confidence, that high self-esteem and everything. And then you get those children that low self-esteem, do not want to do anything, do not want to participate, cry over everything. Yeah, in the daycare field, we have a term for that. Wuss. Okay. I took care of this one child, and basically almost every activity, he just started crying. Don't you start! Don't you start! I was like, there's this much. I was like, okay, today, kids, we got a beautiful field trip today. We are going outside. We're going to go to the planet. Then we're going to go to the planetarium. This kid's like, oh, I don't want to. And it's horrible. It's like looking at a crying like Asian redneck. It's like, oh, I don't want to go. It's like, okay, sure. The next day, okay, we're going to practice for a fire drill. I don't want a fire drill. I don't want to go. Oh. Next one, and this is like, okay, we're going to have a magician over. I don't want them to be here. They'll probably make mommy disappear. I don't want them here. Next thing you know, the kid from my other daycare would walk by.
Hey, Cliff, that kid's a pussy.
As you all know, I'm Filipino. I'm the other dark meat. And I want to share a little story with you about one of my favorite places to go in the city. Well, where every Filipino loves to go, and that would be the casino. Where pretty much you walk in there, 90% brown people, 10% white people. It's like looking at a chocolate fudge cookie with macadamia nuts, basically. I remember, okay, if you ever go to the casino, there is a slot machine. It's called Fort Knox. What it is, it's a penny slot machine. 10 slot machines all around. And what happens is, you can win as little as $8, but you can win as much as $1,000, betting at least 25 cents. And that's pretty cool. Here's the thing, though. No, you can go, man. Here you go. Anyway, here's the thing, though. Every time you hit, there's like 4 jackpots, ranging from $8 to $1,000. No matter what jackpot you hit, it always starts playing Cool in the Gang Celebration. And to a Filipino like myself, you see, every time you hear something like this, it's like the hamster and the wheel's starting to run. Every time it plays a classic song, it's like, hey, it's karaoke time, let's sing. So I just remember, I was playing a slot machine, all of a sudden I hear it from a Fort Knox, I hear, celebrate good times, come on. And I'm like, apparently this one Filipino guy won like a $32 jackpot. And I'm rushing through the crowd. I gotta see the idiot who's singing this. Oh crap, it's my dad. You know how embarrassing it is to hear your dad sing at the casino for a mere $32? I felt like Sylvester the Cat's son. I'm like,
Oh, there goes my father. Winning $32? Oh, for shame.
oh, that's bad. Casinos are fun. Like, it's not only for gambling, but it's also for pay-per-view events. And I have a bit of a bias. I love boxing. And there's one particular boxer, Manny Pacquiao, pound for pound. Hey, there you go. Yes.
Filipino.
Yes, Filipino, yes. My other Filipino friend in the audience. He's like, hey, I like Manny Pacquiao. Yeah. Yeah, so does my brother and my uncle and everybody. We love Manny Pacquiao. Isn't it weird though? If you're okay, what's your name, man?
Jack.
Jeff. Isn't it weird though? Like, if a Filipino with the accent, when he says his last name, like, you don't know if he's pronouncing Manny's name or he's swearing. Like, if he's like, if he gets hit with a punch, fuck you, Pacquiao. What? Fuck you, Pacquiao. Are you swearing or calling his name? He's like, oh, fuck you, Pacquiao. Like, I remember my dad saying it. Like, he got really mad at a pay-per-view event. He's like, fuck you, Pacquiao. My friend's like, what is he doing? Is he swearing or calling the boxer's name? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, they had a Manny Pacquiao event at McPhillips Street Station. It was so funny. Like, the Filipinos were so responsible. It was like being in a Roman Coliseum. What happened was they had pretty much like all the Filipinos in the front. And every time Manny Pacquiao would throw a punch, he'd be like, all of a sudden all the crowd, hey! Second punch, hey! Third punch, hey! All of a sudden the opponent throws a punch. One white guy in the crowd, yay! All of a sudden I hear this one Filipino, he just turns around, okay, who the fuck said that? Who said that? I'm going to kill him! I'm like, my friend's like, Cliff, there's a fight going on in the front. And it's like, really? Really? Yeah, some Filipino guy's trying to beat up a white guy. I'm like, well, I gotta see this. I gotta see this fight. Oh, crap, it's my dad. Anyway, you know what? Before I end this, I just like to say one thing now. When I was told I was going to headline this show, I was told that this was going to be like the last show of the series. But a man that couldn't be here tonight, Mr. Scott Porteous, said that he wanted to continue to do this every other week. Like, we will try to provide you people with all the entertainment, like all the comedy here. Like, we're bringing up-and-coming comics. We're bringing some of the local talent here. And we'd like you to spread the word. Tell your friends about this. And actually, Scott Porteous, he told me, like, I, Scott Porteous, want to continue to do this under one stipulation. If any of these events occur, we will end the series. Okay? Like, he gave me stuff like, well, until Winnipeg Jets win the Stanley Cup, until the Blue Bombers win their third game of the season, until Claude Noel cracks a smile, until the drummer of Def Leppard loses his other arm, and until he moves to Transcona. Like, that's going to happen. Anyway, you know, you guys have been a great audience. You know, thank you for coming on a Thursday night, and I'd like to welcome back our host, our MC, Mr. Dan Chandrowski.